Hi there, this is H. Victoria Hargro Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer. I do romantic historical fiction, and that's my genre. I would invite you to take a look at some of my books, which is Enslaved. This is my latest one, and a very romantic book. I love this one. This is Stones Along the Path. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 is coming out later this year. This is a wonderful sizzler here. This is Buttermilk Bottom. And you will love some of the characters in this book. They're nice, funny, and very interesting characters. And some of them are just hysterical, some are just fun, and others are kind of crazy. And my last one would be Walking Among the Kudzu. This is a story about a little black child. She looks white, but she is black. And she has issues in her own family about the color of her skin. So take a look at my books. I think you'll enjoy reading them. They are all wonderful and have something really interesting to say about the world we live in as African Americans, or Africans living in America, I should say. Okay, now we were talking about what it takes to become a writer. And one of the things that I want to talk about a little bit today is about character development. I don't think you can think about talking about writing. You can't even imagine. I mean, you got to talk about the characters, right? So one of the things I want to talk to you about is how to develop your characters so that your reader can feel that they can reach out and touch these people, that they actually can know who they are, understand them, and walk in their shoes for a moment. The art of doing that, it's a pretty interesting one, and one I absolutely love. I like details. So when I'm doing characters, I like to know everything about this character. I do character studies for all my major characters, even some of the minor ones. I may do a historical background on my minor characters. May not be as long as the major characters, but that backstory will take you everywhere, and it'll take your reader everywhere in understanding who your characters are and how they function in the world and why they function in the world, which is something we all want to know. Who, why, what, when, where, all those questions we want to know. How did this person become this person? I have an interesting one in a number writer in Buttermilk Bottom. So why is he a number writer? How did he become a number writer? What are the circumstances? He's living in the segregated South, and this man who is who becomes a community leader and a very forceful person in that community. He was looked upon by everyone as a hero. How did he get to Buttermilk Bottom? I mean, he was actually a very intellectual person. So what happened? We have to know the backstory. When the reader meets this person, they're like, but who is he? And what is he like? Another strong male character we have in Stones Along the Path, which is Akinyele. This is a story of a man with a preset goals of what he wants in life, and we want to know who he is, why he thinks the way he does, and what world did he come from? How did he get here? And he's driven by passion. Well, where did all that passion come from, for God's sake? And, who is he? So be sure to write all this stuff down when you start writing. It's really, really important. One of the things I like to do is when I'm doing my character study, I like to write down everything about the character. I want to know how tall this guy is. It's Akinyele. How tall is he? What does he weigh? What color is his hair? What color is his skin? How does he dress? And how does he look in his clothes? What does he smell like? Which is a real issue in here. Another interesting part of this character is when you're around him, you can't help but notice his scent. I love that. But who is he and why is he the way he is? So we need to discover everything. I always like to know their style of dress, what makes them special, what makes them different, what are their likes and dislikes, what makes this character angry, what makes this character laugh, what makes this character feel empathy for another person and why. I just want to know everything. So when I'm writing about a character, I do a huge backstory. I do all the information, and also I do a good description of who he is. I want to know how he walks and just about everything. What motivates him in the world? What is his, like I said, his likes and dislikes? What is he attracted to and why? What are some of the things that are important to him? What are the issues around this man as the reader meets him? What are the issues? What is it that we need to understand about this character? Character writing is like, it's heaven on earth, but you need to break it down. Sometimes it can be difficult. People say, I don't get a clear idea who this person is. That's because you didn't do a good character study. You need to find out if that person has a favorite color. Do they, especially if it's a female, what does her hairstyle look like? What do her eyes look like? Just everything about her. How much does she weigh? How tall is she? When she walks in the room, what's the impression she gives people? Or is she shy? Is she outgoing? Just tell me who this character is, and then I can picture that in my mind. I can become a part of the story. I can see these people walking around me. I can, like, tell when they are in the room, you know. And I notice when a person sees a character in the story for the first time, I can understand why they have the emotions they do. Or if they see a person that they hate, I can see the reason why. I know that persona that that person has and how that affects that other character. So it's really, 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 really important that you do a great character study. Know who your characters are. The more you write down what they look like, what they look like, how they walk, how they talk, what they smell like even. If you can explain those things, if you can tell me how this person wears their hair, what does their hair look like, what color is it, what color are their eyes, what do this, do they have a prominent nose, do they have a thin nose, and what does that, how is that displayed in the way they carry themselves? Is this a man that's crippled, like Crippled Jake and Buttermilk Bottom? How does he look? And Crippled Jake is a gorgeous man, just that happens to be crippled. He's gorgeous. He's better looking than the main character. I mean, he's just like a gorgeous man, but he happens to be crippled. And why is he crippled? Tell me something. What happened to this person that he's, and why is he in Buttermilk Bottom? There's so much to write about. I love this, I told you. So take a moment before you write your story down, before you write your outline down. Think of your characters and do a backstory for each one of them and bring them up to date so that your reader will know who they are. You don't necessarily have to include any of that information in your story, but you as the writer need to know who your characters are and why they walk on this earth and what's their purpose and their motivation for being here. Why are they in this story? Why are they important? Tell me something, okay? So this is really cool stuff. And it's real good, a good sound foundation for terrific writing. So get busy on those character studies, folks. It's a gold mine as far as your reader's concerned, because you're going to paint this colorful picture of who these characters are. and you'll be home free, okay? Now, before you go, if you would do me a favor and like this program, and also subscribe to my channel. Push the red button. There is no fee for subscribing. All you have to do is push the red button, and they will let you know when I'm posting a video. It's as simple as that. So join my video world, my electronic family, and enjoy the world with us. Okay? You take care, whether you're a writer or not. If you're a reader, this is where you belong. And if you have any questions at all, be sure to include them in the comment section and let me know what you think, okay? Take care. Love someone special, and most of all, love to you. God bless.